Hello, Ellie. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you, Nikki?
Very good, thank you. It is an absolute pleasure to have you. I think this is going to be super informal for all of our brides. We're obviously in the month of attire. So now when we talk about attire, we're talking about everything really. So from the dress to the suits to the bridesmaid dresses and you know, ushers and all of that. So we're talking, but specifically, we're talking with you, obviously, with the dress. Which is always a very fun topic and something that's really spotlighted. Is that word spotlit?
I think it's the word, yeah.
There, right? That's fine. When it comes to obviously the big day. So I would love if we could kind of kickstart and you could tell me a little bit about yourself and sort of why you decided to venture into the wedding industry.
Of course, yeah. So I'm 26, recently married. Me and my husband had a lockdown wedding.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So proper elopement style, really. It was at the Guildhall in Bath, very limited numbers, just our parents and siblings. And then we just went out for a little meal in an outside pub garden, which was really nice. I highly recommend intimate weddings. Really relaxed day, so no stress with that at all.
Good.
The other big wedding, quite stressful, but we'll get to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. So you're having just whilst we're here. So you're having a two-part wedding, is it?
Two-part wedding. So it was meant to be a really big wedding last year, but obviously, just like so many couples, that couldn't happen. But we still really wanted to get married, love each other. So we thought, well, why not? We can always then just postpone our plans. And have that big day that everyone dreams about. You know, I don't think anyone wants to sacrifice that, and nor should they. But hopefully that'll happen August. So
this year?
This year.
Fabulous.
So again, we'll see.
Yeah. I have faith.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and I think that's really helped me with my brides, actually, is going through exactly the same thing as they're going through, you know, having that sympathetic ear. And then for me too, because God knows we've all shed tears.
Yes.
So that's been a big help for everyone, I think. And then industry-wise, I've been in bridal industry 5-6 years. Ellie Rose Bridal's been open just over 4 years now. And it was actually my husband that sort of prompted me to go into it all. We were recently engaged and, you know, talking to dressers about friends, and I think he overheard. And it was just designers that you couldn't really get here. And he said, well, why not? Why don't you make them available here? I was like, oh, goodness, just big words. No, nobody's got time for that. So, you know, he wrote up all the business proposal and everything and helped me on my way.
That's so exciting. Oh, I love that. Okay, fab. So what are sort of the most common issues or like questions or struggles that you're presented with when you meet a bride maybe for the first time?
Yeah, so I think most commonly at the moment it's lead time. Obviously, with everything that's been going on, especially lead time, you know, clothes and, you know, seamstresses have been shut for so much of the year that then people getting married this summer, autumn have only got a limited amount of time. Right. I would say, you know, still talk to your bridal boutique. There's still things that can be done, you know, sample sales. Us in particular, we've literally said everything is available. You know, we don't want you to go without the dress of your dreams. And then probably the age-old debate of fitted or ball gown. You get so many brides who absolutely adore both, and that is the biggest struggle, because when you love two styles so different, you get really confused, really in your own head, and just don't know what to do. So I always say, you know, try them on back to back, you know, take a step back if necessary, and, you know, just go with your heart. And if you feel more confident in one, that's the dress, definitely.
Do you, in fact, actually that rings really true. Like I think a lot of the girls know this, I talk about this quite often in the group, but you know, with my dress in particular, there was no way I was going to touch a trumpet mermaid type dress. And then it ended up being that. It was like, the moment I just try, I was like, absolutely not. I walked out and I was like, okay.
Take a step back a minute, because you're like, I was so dead against this. Like, how did this happen? You get so confused.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. That's funny. So what's the most important thing to keep in mind when shopping for the dress?
Oh, I think what we just mentioned, just be open, you know, don't say no to trying on anything. Even if you think, oh, trumpet, I'm not too sure, give it a go. If you don't like it, you have a little bit of a laugh, you've had fun trying it on, and then you don't leave the shop thinking, what if I'd have tried on that trumpet? You know, that might have been the dress. Because second doubts is common for everybody. I think we all get second doubts, and I think just trying on everything eliminates it a little bit more. Yeah, and take the right people with you as well. If you want people there, totally take people there, but just make sure that you don't get clouded by everyone's opinions. Make sure you're listening to yourself. Don't be led on because what one friend might say looks good is reflecting her style and not your style. Yes. And I see that a lot, and sometimes we just take a minute in the fitting room just to have a look in the mirror ourselves, see how we feel before going out and being bombarded with everyone's opinions.
I love that. What a nice technique is to make sure that you take that time before you just step out and just say, how do I feel about this? You know, that's really good. I like that one. So obviously we hear a lot in the industry about unforeseen costs, hidden costs and things like that. And it would be nice to sort of introduce our brides, especially if they've never been through this before, to any sort of unforeseen costs that may pop up when it comes to the dress, so alterations and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. I think alterations would be the big one. I think when you're, you know, discussing the budget for your dress, it depends on which seamstress you use. We use a brilliant one, and I'd say budget for around £300.
Okay.
You know, it is expensive, but it's vitally important. You can have the most gorgeous gown, but if it's not fitting you in all the right places, it's not showing you off. So definitely alterations, and also, you know, things like veils, garters, headpieces, little diamante sashes, just to lift a dress. You know, it might be that you're going for a really simplistic style. In that case, you maybe won't want those. But if they're in the budget, and then you underspend,
perfect.
It's good, isn't it? You can then legitimately go out and get more expensive shoes, you know, some Louis Vuittons.
Oh, lovely. Fabulous, darling. Great. And then, yeah, that kind of like moves us nicely, actually, really nicely, into my next question. What is your favorite designer and why?
Oh, goodness. So that's a big question. That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
So personally, I've got a couple, and I'm very biased. Okay. So my number one would have to be Hayley Page. She's amazing. She's a lovely woman and so down to earth too. She's actually designing and making me a custom dress for my wedding this year.
What?
I know, crazy.
Oh my God.
It becomes even more special as she is stepping down from designing this year.
No, very
sad news, but we still have a lot of her dresses. But then my other favourite designer is Alison Webb, just because she's so diverse. She's got 3 collections at the moment. She's got her namesake, which is really sort of English rose. You can see it in the manor house, clean cut, sort of Audrey Hepburn vibes, very sophisticated. Then you've got her Lucia, which is all out girly glam, diamantes, low cuts, all of it. And then Theodora, which is more of that springtime garden boho bride, quite lightweight as well, which I know is very important to a lot of our brides. You want to be in a dress that just doesn't feel like you're in a big dress. You want to be able to move through the day with ease. So Teodora is definitely the one for that.
I love that. I'm going to be definitely checking those out after that. That's
definitely Alison Webb. She's amazing. She's gorgeous too. She's lovely.
Oh my goodness. It's mingling with all these wonderful designers.
Oh God, I wish. I miss them so much. Normally we go out to New York every October for Bridal Fashion Week, but we haven't done that in a while. So I'm just clawing at the bit for hopefully this October, but we'll see.
Fingers crossed, hey? Fingers crossed. I'd love some sort of top tips for looking for the dress.
Oh, definitely do your research. I think with platforms like this, Instagram, Pinterest, pin and save a load of dresses, and then see if there's an overall style or perhaps an overall designer that you're just naturally drawn to, and then find a boutique that does those designers, because if they don't do those designers, they're likely to do similar designers as well, and you're going to get the best experience when trying on those dresses. You're not then going to go to another shop that say does really boho styles, but you've pinned really glamorous styles and be disheartened. I think that's the biggest.
Sorry. Is that then telling from a bridal boutique perspective? Do you literally stay within like a similar design-ish across the board?
It totally depends on the boutique. Yeah. You've got really cool vibe boho boutiques that probably wouldn't do a traditional dress, and then you've got other boutiques that are purely traditional lace and tulle. We've got a little bit of mix. I'd say if you'd like a ball gown,
you're like, that's me.
Princess Bride, totally. We do have some, fitted simple gowns too, but more often or not, it's a ball gown. And our designs are very different to other dress shops in Bath and around the country. So I'd just say, look what they've got, look what we've got, and see if you're liking their style.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So do your research. Do your research when looking for the dress.
And don't be afraid to get in touch with them, ask questions. There's no such thing as a silly question. You've not done this before. It's a whole new world. We're not going to laugh at you if you don't know how much wedding dresses are, or how long they take to come in, or if they come in other colours. No stupid questions.
In just sort of side note then, what is your ideal how far in advance do you like people to come to you?
So I'd say ideal 6 to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
If there's more time, amazing, especially with everything that's going on. Lead times have been a bit scattered. Some have taken a little bit longer, some are coming quicker. Yeah. But then always allow 2 months for alterations on top of that, because again, so important. The dress can be here, but if it's not fitting properly, it's not looking its best.
Great. So the 6 to 8 includes the 2?
Yes.
Great. Fab. And so then, kind of to round off this wonderful little chat, I'd love to know, what is your favourite part of working with brides?
Oh my goodness, Nikki, that's almost as hard as the favourite designer question. You're hitting me today.
Sorry.
I genuinely love it all, from that first email to getting to know, their wedding plans, to meeting them. Obviously trying on dresses is pretty fun, you get to play Barbie every day. But probably what just sets my heart aflutter is when the pictures come in. When you see the day, how it all came together after talking to them and getting to know them on a really personal level, seeing those moments, it makes it.
I think that's one of my, when it comes to the lounge, and it's going to be really interesting when our first brides start putting in their photos. It's going to be crazy. Yeah.
You just get this huge sense of achievement and happiness for them, to see it all turn out. And it's, it's quite nice to see, what did your fiance look like then?
Of course, of course. And how did they react when they turned around, you know? I love that. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and being here and sharing your expertise. And hopefully, you know, this will help clear up any confusions as well when it comes to shopping for the dress. I think that's really, yeah, really good. Thank you so much.
Oh no, thank you so much, Nikki, for having me.